What's poppin'? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Cody Vondell. Today we're going to be breaking down a Y2K era rave style cover art for my friend's new release. Before we get started, just wanted to say thank you all so much for liking, subscribing, sharing my content. We hit over 1,000 subscribers, so I created a free Y2K style icons vector template, over 75 icons that you can download in the descriptions below. You can use all of these icons in your own work, and if you want to share what you're up to, come hop on the Discord. We're building a really fun Y2K inspired community over there. People are sharing tips, tricks, works in progress, and I'd love to see what you're working on if you are working along with me on these videos. If you want to support the channel, make sure to head over to my Etsy. You can find all kinds of cool holographic stickers, and if you enjoy the intro music, outro music, background music while we're working, I create it all, and you can find it streaming. Just search Cody Vondell on Spotify or your favorite streaming service. You can also find me on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, at Cody Vondell. Let's go ahead and hop into this. So today, we're actually looking at my friend Graz, his brand new single. It's called Every Night, and he hit me up about a month ago asking if I wanted to work with him on it, and it's something that, you know, we've known each other for a while now. We've wanted to collaborate on something. This was the perfect opportunity, so I couldn't turn it down. I was super stoked to work on this. He took a really cool photograph, kind of a nighttime vibe, and that's the artwork that he wanted to use, and he kind of sent me some references for some stuff that he wanted, sort of like vector decorations over top of the photograph. So that's what I provided him with, and I sent it back to him. He ended up adding motion to his photograph, so the whole project was just super collaborative. It looks really cool, and the song is a banger, so y'all make sure to go check it out. That will be linked in the description below. So right now we have a blank canvas here in Photoshop. We are grabbing the photograph that Graz took, and we're gonna go and start sampling some colors. We know we want to use the baby blue, the hot pink, and that red color. Obviously we've got the blacks and the whites, so we got a nice 5 colors to work with. I'm really feeling good about that. Now we've got all those set aside. Let's go ahead and start playing with our artist title. So we've got all caps, and we've got some lowercase as well. We're just gonna go through here. I know that there's a certain kind of style that I'm going for, maybe Bureau Destruct's Eject. That was looking cool. There's also Fat Sands. That's one that we've recently covered on the most recent episode of Y2K free fonts, so make sure to check that one out. And now we're just gonna go through and just kind of round out some corners, kind of add some little pieces into this R, you know, just to see if we can make it feel a little bit less lowercase, a little bit more like an uppercase kind of R. By converting this type to outlines, we're allowed to round out the corners, give it that nice, a lot of the Y2K stuff comes from the rounded corners. So make sure to turn your font to outlines to play around with that. So we just want to come up with a few more options, and we'll probably have like 3 or 4 artist title options. These are all these various fonts that I've downloaded for various client projects, a lot of futuristic stuff. And yeah, I'm feeling this sort of lowercase a. Again, we have converted to outline so that we can round out the corners. We're gonna drop this cool little circle, make sure it's even in there. And that's a fun little kind of design as well. So we need to choose one of these, and I think it's gonna be that middle one. And thinking overall the flow of this graphic, I think having the artist title up in the right-hand corner, the eye can then follow the road and the lights on the road all the way down. We'll have the song title in the lower left corner, and we'll fill all that empty space with all kinds of fun vector decorations. So right now, I think part of this whole aesthetic is just kind of over the top, maybe unnecessary vector work, and so we're just gonna load this this thing with all kinds of stuff. Client sent over some cool like reference stuff with really cool mixture of photography and vector work, so that's kind of what we're looking to emulate on this one. And right now, you know, we're just going to be playing with a bunch of little shapes. Some of these shapes are stuff that you can find for free right now in my template that I just released on my website. And some of this stuff, you know, I'm making it from scratch, but like all these little circles and stuff you can actually download right now for free. We're also going to be looking around at, like, you know, what colors we want to use here. I think keeping the artist title in either pink or white is probably best, because those are going to be our brightest colors, and we really want that title to stand out. And then everything else can, you know, we'll just kind of play it by ear, like as we continue to put things together, just kind of feel out the way we want to color everything. So we're just building fun little futuristic vector shapes to give it a kind of Rave font, Rave feel. We're using a bunch of fonts on this one, and they all kind of work well together, so it'll be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and save what we're doing here. I probably should have done that a lot sooner, but here we go. Just kind of adjusting that little part of the R real quick that we added in there. And he sent me all kinds of cool little pieces of text that relate to the song, like the BPM, the length of the song, minimal lyrics and stuff like that. So I have some like kind of quotes and stuff that I can work with while creating all the vector stuff, like the genre, all that kind of drum and bass chiptune. So now we're going to go ahead and figure out what font we want to use. And I'm kind of thinking we'll kind of steer out of the over-the-top futuristic font for the song title. We'll go with this Nirvana-style font. And it's very 90s. I think it works for this, even though it's not Rave necessarily. It just kind of works for that old-school concert poster kind of feel. And right now we're kind of looking at what it might be like if we kept all the vector pieces over in one, like stacked up on one side. But I think it's going to work best having like two big things in each corner, and then filling in some of the other space just with just stuff that doesn't matter as much as the song titles themselves. So we've got Every Night down there in the corner right now. We're just kind of adjusting some of these things for consistency. You know, we've cloned that little vector item that we created and made it a little larger. So we're just kind of, you know, trying to create some consistency with all these shapes and colors. And also make things over the top and maybe a little bit unnecessary, because that is the style of this whole Rave EDM drum and bass style concert poster. So now we are adding a quick little kind of outline to the entire photograph so that everything can kind of rest within that. I think that's pretty comfortable. Border wise, I feel like there's plenty of space there. Every Night's not going to stay in that space, but we are just going to leave that there while we figure out some other things that we want to have. Let's go ahead and make these all caps. I like the overall delivery there. We just need all caps. Cool. That's looking good. And then we'll just kind of scale these down and kind of drop them in here, play around with some things. We're just really getting decorative right now. All kinds of cool little items. Adding in these extra little pieces here. And I think by making Every Night white text, it just kind of draws the eye to that, and keeping Graz in pink really draws the eye to that. And then the red, blue kind of colors kind of help fill in stuff. But I think, yeah, making sure, because we're on this really dark background, making sure our song title and our artist title read the loudest. It's just important that we get the brightest color that we're using there. So we're also just filling in every little, you know, nook and cranny of this thing with something cool. We might end up moving the 174 BPM over a little bit. Moving these circles down, just kind of playing around with stuff, you know, creating consistency with some of these vector shapes and color schemes. And, you know, when it comes down to this kind of stuff, we're really just feeling it out and figuring out where things fit best. Here's 2022, that's, you know, the year that the song's released, so we'll come up with a cool little graphic based on that. We're kind of distorting it to a point where it almost doesn't even read as 2022. Like it could read as Boss or like anything. Like you can just see it. It's a cool looking, you know, street art style type of graphics. So now we are also going to be leaving some of these like little bubbles, whatever you want to call them, little shapes blank, because once we bring this into Photoshop, we're going to kind of put some photography based elements in there as well. I have this like little acid smiley style kind of thing I want to add, and a sort of city skyline, maybe like an eclipse, like sun, moon kind of looking kind of thing. So yeah, just leaving some blank space so that when we bring it into Photoshop, we got a little bit more room to work with too. This is really starting to take shape. I'm pretty excited about it overall. And really, it's just feeling stuff out, just putting stuff, rearranging it until it feels like the way it's supposed to. You know, knowing your references before you even get started is a huge part of this, and making it feel natural. So I look at this kind of stuff all the time, and the client, Graz, also sent over a few references, so I really had a very clear vision of what we're going for. So since I have that, now it's really just about filling things in the right way, the right colors, right shapes. This is a cool little font. It's all these cool little items that you can use. So right now we're just going to go through and just copy out the ones that that I like best, that I want to use. And we'll just delete all the rest of those. Or I guess we won't delete them. We'll leave them right there for if we need them later on. And let's see, what can we do with these? We are going to go ahead and convert to outline so that we can get that nice rounded corner edges, like we've been doing with all of our other fonts and stuff. This is technically a font, so yeah. We're just kind of feeling stuff out, you know, feeling it out. We're placing things, seeing how it looks, changing colors, changing directions, flipping stuff around, just having fun, seeing what it looks like. Obviously, I've sped this footage up. This was about an hour overall. Spent in Illustrator and Photoshop just playing around with stuff, and we've sped it up a lot, so it's only like 15 or 20 minutes, but that's part of the game, is you spend a lot of time working on something, and you just, if you're trying to show it, you probably don't want to sit here for an hour, but yeah. So here we are, just adding more vector elements, you guys. Just a lot of vector elements. We're trying to make this thing fun, and then we're gonna get some feedback from Graz, and he'll let us know, you know, take a few of these things off or rearrange them, sort of. So yeah, just giving him a really fun, visually packed cover art right now, and it's really starting to shape up. Obviously, there's still little things that we're gonna do here and there, but this is overall the general shape. So let's go ahead and copy that, paste it over here, so that when if there's anything I do want to change, we kind of have a backup of where we're at right now, because I do like the overall shape of this. Maybe we can move this around. I think we're finally going to bring every night down there where it should have been all along. Perfect. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm even feeling this little arrow thing, but that's how it goes, you know. I'm moving these dudes around. And I think this is stretched out maybe a little too much, but I do like the idea of having like these three little like modules or something up there in the corner. So we'll figure out how we can tastefully include that. I think that size feels a little bit better than what we just had. And we might move to 174 BPM and change that to like the length of the song, 3 minutes and 53 seconds. And yeah, we'll make the BPM really big over here. Yeah, just playing with those rounded corners. Pretty much all of the typography on this has been converted to outline so that we can really make those edges as just curved and rounded off as possible. That's just the look that we're going for. Again, right there in the B, that nice curved look. So overall, yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. We're gonna get some feedback from him, and we're gonna add in some photography-based elements. We have the vector, like this is pretty much where it's gonna stay, you know, overall layout-wise. So I'm pretty excited about that. And we'll turn these guys sideways, make them small, maybe put them in like a little container of some sort, round those edges out. That's cool looking, and we'll just leave that right there for now. Perfect. And now we are, you know, we're just playing with things. Just a good hour's worth of just vector play. That's where we're at right now. So he uses this DM8 a lot. All of his new music is all analog. None of it's done digitally. So I wanted to pay homage to the DM8 by throwing a little logo, like making a quick little logo kind of thing right there, and I think that works. That looks cool. I think overall we're ready to bring it into Photoshop and sort of scale it down maybe a little bit. Just one more time. Yeah, that looks about comfortable. Yeah, I think this is starting to look good. We're going to kind of play with, we're not going to leave that outline on quite like that. We're going to use that to kind of create sort of a bevel and emboss and see if we can't make it something that feels like it's kind of coming off of the page a little bit. That doesn't look bad, but it's not really what we're going for, and it's not what we saw in the references, so we're just going to keep it as is. Now we're adding a gradient map to this photograph, the skyline, to just kind of add more elements into our image. Right now we're playing with the colors that we've been using all along, but ultimately it's just going to need a black and white gradient map, nothing too over the top like what we're doing right now. But you always have to explore and figure that out firsthand before you know that. So right here we're still trying to figure out what we can do with these colors. And I think this is about the stage that I realized, yeah, we're going black and white on this. So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it all contained in that little space right there. Something about like that. That's looking incredibly comfortable. I'm digging that. So yeah, we'll keep that. That is what I'm thinking we'll use. And then we might end up kind of moving some of these vector shapes out of that space right there so that, you know, it kind of, yeah, inverted. That looks perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. So we'll move this over here or something, just kind of stack these up or something, you know. We're just getting even wilder now. We've brought all these vector shapes in. I want to add this little eclipse up here in this little module that we have next to grass. And that's looking right. And what else can we do down here? We can move this little circle. We can do something with that. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. All right, so this is looking pretty good. I think this is a stopping point. I got in touch with Graz, we made a few little changes, and this was the final output. Really excited about this piece. So it was an absolute pleasure to work with Graz on this. All of his music is super dope, so I'm going to include a link in the description, so make sure you go check that out. The song is dropping very soon. Thank you all once again for tuning in to another video. If you've not already joined our Discord, please consider hopping over there on the server. I would love for you to be a part of our community. We're sharing all kinds of cool stuff, and I would love to share some of the work that you are creating. That is all for today, everyone. Thank you again. Like, share, subscribe. I will see you on the next video. We're going to be looking at a Rave Y2K era concert poster I created for drum and bass legend LTJ Bukem. We've got another Y2K free fonts video. I've got a video about a concert in the metaverse I recently did. It was a music video festival that my buddy Shark Anthony put me on. So I've got a video on that coming up. We're also looking at creating a character mascot from scratch, so keep an eye out for that. I appreciate it, you all. Check me out at Cody Vondell on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the Discord. I hope to see you there. Thank you, guys.